take down the LA Clippers 130 to 116. The Clippers dropped 6 in a row. The Clippers will head out for a 7-game road trip, and they'll hope to come back with a couple more wins in the win column and some momentum as this start to the season continues to be a slow one for the Clippers. Clippers got 23 out of Harden, 18 and 8 from Ivica Zubac, 22 off the bench for Jordan Miller, 10 from Brook Lopez, 11 from Bogdan Bogdanovic. But the 55 from Jokic, just too much. A career-high 25 points in the opening quarter. We will talk to you Friday at 4:30 for Clippers Talk, but as of now, it's Adam Oslin who has you the rest of the way. Final here from Intuit Dome, 130 to 116. The Nuggets win their 6th in a row as they take down the Clippers in their first matchup of the regular season. For Big Brother Jake Warner, our engineer, Joey Kimball, our statistician, Daniel West, our producer, back in the studio, Adam Oslin, who will have you all of postgame. This is Carlo Jimenez saying so long from Intuit Dome.
9, 18, 7. Clipper Nation, what can you say? Disastrous start to the season. Jokic was incredible tonight. I feel honored having seen some of that, but it's at the expense of the Clippers, so I'm not happy. Thought Jordan Miller and Kobe Sanders gave them a spark in the first half. But I got to be honest, a lot of it was just they were hot from three. They were 9 of 18. And then when Denver got hot from three and Jokic kept hitting shots, it was over. Denver started the third quarter. I think it did end up being 5 for 5, Carlo, from three.
There you go.
Third quarter, Joey?
They started 4 for 4. I don't know what happened with the next one. Man, this team could use a change of scenery.
You know what? Maybe the road is what they need right now.
All right.
Hunker down, get in the foxhole, us against the world. I don't know, Clipper Nation. I don't know what's going to happen now.
It is Denver.
Denver's good. They're great. Jokic is one of the best players I've ever seen in my life. A lot of these shots, step backs, three-pointers, just skill, man. And then when they brought the double, he find a cutter. It's just like, what are you going to do? Thank you. Do you by any chance have a third quarter one? If not, don't worry. You got third quarter? Thank you.
Is this a game? Is this a game?
Send Zubac to Dallas for a guy who makes 3 times as much.
Who? AD?
That's what somebody just said
Oh
here.
my goodness. No. I'm
Get
not trading Ivica Zubac.
the F out of here. Zubac is one of the best value contracts in sports. Nikola Jokic drops 55, and the Clippers drop their 6th straight game. They are 3-8 through 11 here in this young season. Welcome in. I'm Adam Oslin. This is your Clippers postgame show after the Clippers lose 130 to 116 to the Denver Nuggets here at Intuit Dome. Coming up, we'll get your complete game box score. We'll take your phone calls. You know the drill. But first, back to Carlo Jimenez, your radio voice of the Clippers. Well, Carlo, I don't know if this was so much a lack of effort, energy, intensity, inspired play, or it was just Nikola Jokic having a special night. And once the Clippers started to cool off from the outside, the Denver Nuggets poured it on in the second half.
Yeah, the start of the quarter, Adam, was just unreal from Denver. They knocked down shot after shot. They were excellent on the defensive end. The Clippers struggled to get any good looks, and what started as a 5-point lead. I mean, credit to Lou Adam. He took an early timeout to try to stop the run after Denver just took a 2-point lead. But the 7-0 run could not be stopped. Denver, I believe, went on a 22-6 run in that third quarter. And Jokic kept them in the game really in the first half. I mean, he had 33 points and the Clippers are up 5, and then 22 in the second half to finish with 55. An impressive night for him. I mean, for the Clippers, Adam, when you play a team like Denver, you're going to need to play excellent. Now, the Nuggets were without Christian Brown and Cameron Johnson pretty much the entire game. But this is one where you just got outplayed, I think, by a team that was more skilled and a little more cohesion. And look, they had a guy drop 55. And what are you going to do?
The best player in the game, in
Yeah.
my not so humble opinion, it's still Jokic. It's still Jokic. And now you see just how good his team can be record-wise with a better supporting cast around him, with the way they retooled, with Jamal Murray looking this good this early in the season. But, I mean, they lost some guys early in this ball game, and it didn't even matter with Christian Brown and, of course, Cameron Johnson leaving the ball game. And the Denver Nuggets could just play through Nikola Jokic. He is the ultimate system, maybe the ultimate weapon in the modern era of the NBA, or at least since LeBron James was in his prime. This is Jokic's league, and you are at his mercy when he's going like this tonight. And we talked about it early on, but a lot of the stuff he was doing wasn't even at the rim.
No.
We're talking about jump shots, step backs,
I think
everything.
He hit a step back jumper, and I said it looked like a layup because it just did. I mean, he went full speed down the lane, threw a floater about 20 feet in the air, and it dropped perfectly through the bottom of the rim.
What does hurt is something else we brought up. Nikola Jokic actually hadn't gotten a win when he scored 50 or more. Now I believe he's 1-3 when he scores 50 or more in his career in the regular season. And it comes against the Clippers. And if it wasn't rock bottom before, it certainly is now. Maybe they can find themselves out on the road coming up for the next 7 because they have to. They have to do something to regroup here. And this Clippers team will be starting off against another desperate ball club looking for a win in Dallas on Friday, Carlo. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. This Clippers team, you mentioned it, maybe just a change of venue. Maybe just get in the foxhole with your teammates and hope you can figure this thing out now and become road warriors.
They got to. I mean, they really don't have another choice, Adam, because the next 7 games is going to decide a lot in terms of how this season goes. I know it sounds maybe dramatic, but we're early in this season, and if you want to be a contender in the West, you got to at least get around 500 and probably be better than that. But the Clippers right now sitting at 3-8, and they got to get some of that back. They had that long road trip. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast, but with that season they started 3-7. They had the Grammy trip back when that was a thing, and that was really the peak. The road trip was the peak of what they were able to do, that 26-5 run.
Didn't they even get a big win in New Orleans against the Pelicans? Something nobody could have predicted?
They did. So, I mean, maybe the road does bring this team together. And I think they really don't have another choice, Adam. You can't go 1-6 or 2-5 on this road trip. You got to come out at least above 500 at 4-3.
Clippers at their longest losing streak since they dropped 6 straight. That was back in 2023 of November, from November 1st to November 14th. The final team they lost to in that streak before going 14-3 over their next 17 would be the Denver Nuggets. We're hoping we can see something similar here, but it starts Friday against a desperate Dallas Mavericks team in Dallas. Tip-off at 5:30. Clippers and Mavs. We'll have a pregame show starting back here at 4:30. Carlo Jimenez, great call as always. Safe travel on the roadie, my friend.
Adam, I will talk to you when I'm in Dallas, and we'll hope the Clippers turn the page on this season against the Mavericks.
Coming up next, your post-game box score and call-in show. If you want to get on early, 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. Clippers lose to a 55-point game from Nikola Jokic, 130-116 here at Intuit Dome to the Denver Nuggets. And you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
Thanks, Daniel. Thank you.
Go until 11, Daniel. Oh. Good call. Sorry. I feel like I jumped on Thank you. See you in a couple weeks. I'll check it. Whew. Win Friday. What else matters? I think you guys are confusing a lack of cohesiveness with individual regression. I think the reason you're seeing like Zubac's out of position at times, everybody's getting beat off the dribble, or they're fouling. In this case tonight, they're not connected. They're not five guys on a string anymore. And Jokic was insane. 25 points in the first quarter. I don't know if I'll ever see that again in my life. In person. First time with 30 personal fouls since 11-1-23, which was the start of their 6-game losing streak back then. Joey's finding all the connections. I know. More pain. Why so serious? The Joker was Nikola Jokic. Had 55 points on 18 of 23 shooting, went 5 of 6 from the outside, 14 of 16 from the charity stripe, had 12 boards, only 6 assists. Of course, when you're doing most of the scoring, that's going to happen. And his 55 of the 130 that the Denver Nuggets scored would help beat the Clippers 130-116 here at Intuit Dome. Just an incredible masterclass, otherworldly performance from Nikola Jokic like we've seen over the years. And I was watching him last night against the Sacramento Kings, and I was worried that was his warm-up performance because he started looking real good there. It made it look really easy. Looked easy tonight, too. Had 25 of his 55 in the first quarter. The Clippers actually only trailed 39-35 after the first quarter, and then had a 5-point lead at the half. But I was concerned that a lot of it was just hot shooting from the Clippers, where in that second quarter, they went 5 of 9 from 3. They were 9 of 18 from 3 in the first half, and they started off the third quarter 0 of 3 from the outside. Denver was 5 of 5. They went on a 22-6 run, and the Clippers never got it to within 12 or inside of 12 points after that. As there were some good performances individually, Kobe Sanders gave them a spark. He started 3 of 3, but missed his last 4 shots. All 3 of his makes were 3-pointers. Jordan Miller, 5 of 7 from the outside, dropped 22 points, went right. That's what I wanted to see. He has a counter move. He's not just going left, not a lefty merchant. Jordan Miller went right tonight. Jordan and Kobe Sanders in this case, gave them a lift in the first half. But as Nikola Jokic continued to score at will, and then the 3-pointers started falling for Denver in the second half, that would be the Clippers' undoing. They lose 130-116 here at Intuit Dome. 6 straight loss. They're 3-8 through 11 games this season, and now they head out on a 7-game road trip. Before we take a break, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers fall 130-116 here at Intuit Dome as Nikola Jokic has 55 points, and it still felt like light work. I don't know why he came back into the game late. That is the now new Intuit Dome scoring record. It was 50 by James Harden last year against Detroit. Second half of a back-to-back after they lost to Phoenix the night before. Now it's 55. Nikola Jokic is no Jokic. Incredible, incredible player. best passing big man ever, one of the best passing players, period, ever, and can also fill it up with ease. More Clippers postgame coming up next. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Third quarter, Clippers lost it 43-22. There was a 22-6 run at one point. Started early in the third quarter. That's what great teams do. And that's where bad teams tend to let go of the rope. And right now, the Clippers are a bad team. Gotta be honest. I don't know if they're going to blow it up this season. Could depend on this road trip. I know everybody in the chat calling for everyone's job. I don't know what's going to happen. Because the Clippers are just drowning in questions that they don't have answers for. Really, really shocking start to this season. Jokic is unbelievable. I thought I had seen it all with him. Seeing 55 in person tonight. Man, 25 in the first quarter. I was joking with Carlo during the broadcast, like we weren't alive for Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point radio call. You may get one tonight. Jokic was on pace for 100 after the first quarter. It was the highest scoring quarter of his career. His 33 in the first half, most points by any player in a half in the NBA so far this season. I'm glad we saw Kobe and Jordan Miller. I think Coach Lue wanted to know how deep he could go into his bench on this road trip where you have multiple back-to-backs, and he wanted to give other guys a shot. I think he knows what he has with Cam Christie a little bit more. That's why he played less. Tonight it was Kobe Sanders and Jordan Miller's turn to show what they could do if they could help this team. They can. Clippers lose 130-116 at home to the Denver Nuggets. Sixth straight loss. And Nikola Jokic put 55 on them. Clippers' next ball game takes place on the road, where they will be for their next 7, starting in Dallas Friday night. Tip-off at 5:30, pregame show at 4:30. Outside of Los Angeles, we're leaving you until then, but coming up next here on AM 570 LA Sports, it's Clippers Talk. Nice, Daniel. Very nice. You do get a discount on DoorDash tomorrow. NBA 50 will get you up to $10 off your order because somebody scored 50 points in the league. And it happened to be Jokic. So while you don't get the free Chick-fil-A, you do get a discount on DoorDash. God. I know. We're looking for anything right now. Yeah, I was a little perplexed at how much Brook Lopez was on Jokic and thought they would mirror Zubac's minutes more against him. I think they were hoping, but here's the thing. They had been already staggering Zoo to get him in to start the second quarter, so they'd take him out early in the first quarter to try to make him a focal point in second quarters. But tonight, doing that against Denver means you're getting a lot of minutes where he's not on Jokic. Would it really have mattered tonight? Jokic he's scoring on everybody. Zubac for AD. You're going to trade him for a guy that's 5 years older, injury prone. I don't know about that one, Chief. Oh, and he's owed $60 million each of like the next 3 years, I don't know if that's the direction the Clippers would go. Just a guess. Jokic makes a third of what he does. I don't think he's a third of a player. Here comes Damian. How did Lou blow it in the third? The guy's just trying to twist any way to blame Coach Lou. Jake, can we try that thing you were talking about? We don't have to do it yet, but okay. All right, let's do it, and I'll control from.
Of the Clippers on the LA Clippers Audio Network. Load up the phones and make your feelings known. Now your host for Clippers Talk, it's Adam Osley.
Well, the Nuggets had the Joker, and we were looking for the Dark Knight. Nowhere to be found as Jokic dropped 55 here at Intuit Dome on the Clippers. It is an arena record, and the Clippers have lost 6 straight after losing 130 to 116 to Denver. Welcome into your postgame show. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Talk. 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. If you'd like to get on tonight, might even have a workaround for you guys on the YouTube side to hear the phone calls. Nikola Jokic had 25 points in the first quarter. Most he's ever scored in a quarter. Started against Zubac, then Brook Lopez. Even Kobe Sanders had an opportunity. When they brought the double, he found the open man. When they didn't, step back jumpers. Incredible performance. On one hand, you're distraught because the Clippers have lost 6 straight and they're 3-8. On the other, I'm like, what did I just witness from Nikola Jokic? I was incredible greatness. But all I want to see is a Clippers W again. And now they head out on the road for the next 7 ball games, starting in Dallas on Friday night. But they were leading this game at the half. How many times have we said that lately? Even with Jokic having 25 in the first quarter, it was only 39-35. 39's a big number, but the Clippers had 35 points themselves in the first quarter. James Harden with 12. And off the bench, Kobe Sanders comes in and hits a three-pointer. Jordan Miller hits a half-court shot to end the first quarter. And they kept momentum into the second quarter. The young guys, I didn't see it coming. Did you? The second quarter lineup was Kobe Sanders, Bogey, Jordan Miller, Batum, and Zubac. Miller hits then a 3 on the left wing. A Bogey 3. The Clippers have an 11-0 run as Denver went almost 4 minutes scoreless from the end of the first into the second. Another Kobe Sanders 3 off a beautiful pass on the attack down the left alley from Jordan Miller. On a kick out to Kobe Sanders, far side corner 3, knocks it down. I mean, he hit back-to-back threes. I thought he started 3 of 3 from the outside. But my first quarter box score says he was 1 of 2. He was at least 3 of 4 to start. Unfortunately, he wouldn't make another shot. Sometimes it's the law of diminishing returns. Maybe he got the jump on Denver. They didn't have either guy on the scouting report. I sure didn't. I thought Cam Christie would get in before them. I was shocked to see them both out there at once. Coach Lou trying everything. And it worked for a bit. The Clippers led 68-63 at the half. They had a 10-point lead in the second quarter after James Harden made it 65-55. I didn't know what I was watching. It was a bizarro world because Clippers players in new orange jerseys for the City Edition were out there, and players we hadn't seen this year were lighting up Denver while Jokic has 33 points in the first half, and yet the Clippers are up by 5. 68-63. Unfortunately, the hot shooting would not last. It rarely ever does. And if the main reason you're leading at the half is because you're 9 of 18 from the three-point line, well, how often are you going to replicate that in the last 24 minutes? Instead, it was Denver starting hot in the third quarter. They had a quick 7-0 run. After DJ caught Newt from James Harden out of a timeout, it was 70 all. Gordon jumper, Jokic free throws, Jokic floater, Jokic. But Denver, I believe, started the third quarter 5 of 5 from 3, and the Clippers were 0 of 3. So the three ball started to fail them. And Nikola Jokic continued to hit everything. I've seen some great performances. I don't like seeing one at the expense of the Clippers. Jokic entered the fourth quarter with 52. So he had another 19 points in the third quarter. They tried everything. It wasn't happening. It was Jokic's night. He looks better than ever, more dominant than ever. And the Clippers are in shambles right now. And outside of those performances from Jordan Miller and Kobe Sanders, there are not a lot of bright spots right now. Bogey looked okay. He had 11 points. He was a part of that run with his 6 points in the first half to get them up at the half. James Harden, really good first quarter, considering they could have been blown out with Jokic's 25 in the first quarter. Zubac, okay, 12 points in the first half I liked. He was 6 of 9. He was battling, but I needed more in that third quarter. They didn't feature him enough for my taste. I thought he was playing really hard, but it did still feel like once the Clippers got down, they were fouling a lot. They gave up 30 free throws, 35 in this ball game. They hadn't given up 30 free throws and had 30 personal fouls on them at least this season. It's like when they tried to defend hard, they got called for fouls. I ain't blaming the officials for this game at all. I'm just saying Denver used their aggressiveness against them. They attacked them. The Nuggets ended up with 54 points in the paint. It's not a huge number. Clippers 48. I'm telling you, a lot of Jokic's work was outside of the paint or just mid-range work. And, of course, three-pointers, where he was 5 of 6. I mean, Clippers still shot 16 of 37 from 3, but they started 9 of 18. So they were, 7 for their next 19? Clippers lose 130 to 116. They're 3 and 8. I'm stunned. This team has gotten off to a start like this. We learned earlier today Bradley Beal is out for the season. That can be an emotional blow for a team, or it can help you rally. Maybe we saw some of that in the first half. Can being out on the road bring out the best in this team? More of a sense of urgency? Or is it now a lack of talent without Beal, without Kawhi? Still, 5th straight game, they're 0-5 without Kawhi. And it doesn't look like he's playing at least the first 2 games of the road trip. Because it sounds like he'll be evaluated earlier next week. It's not just a right foot sprain, or it is a right foot sprain, but we thought it was just a right ankle sprain. So it's worse than we thought. Everything's worse than we thought right now. Nikola Jokic has 55, and the Clippers lose 130 to 116. Coming back, we'll get to your phone calls. I'm Adam Osland, and this is Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports.
Audio Network.
Clippers lose 130-116 here at Intuit Dome. They've lost 6 straight. They head out on the road now for 7. Maybe that can be their safe haven. Shake them up. Change of scenery. I don't know. They're 3-8. We're searching for answers. Post-game, Coach Lou said, quote, "Our game plan was to make him score and take away his passing. I didn't think he would score 55," in reference to Nikola Jokic. Yeah, 18 of 23 from the field. 55, 12, and only 6 assists. So his assists were way down. He leads the league in assists. Jordan Miller had 22 off the bench. Kobe Sanders looked good. His first real NBA moment. But there's not much else positive to say. So let's see what the callers have. Raul in Baldwin Park. Raul, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Moslem. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Adam? I'm just going to make this short and sweet. Fire Ty Lue.
Nothing else, Raul? Do you have any specifics? Did you just hang up? All right, Mike in LA. Raul short on explanation but you know,
Well,
if you want to be overly simplistic tonight, I get it. Everybody's frustrated. If you think Ty Lue is the reason that Jokic scored 55 and not that Jokic is just the best player in the world, I don't know what to tell you. Mike, floor is yours.
I think firing Ty Lue would accomplish probably nothing or not much. I think, this team just sort of is what it is. It's not, it might get better. It's not what we, thought it was going to be in the off season.
Mike, I think you just made a great point. I think it's going to get better. Is it ever going to reach the highs that we thought this group could is the question.
No, absolutely not. I feel confident that it won't. And, that's fine. I mean, in the off season, just trying to keep a little perspective here. In the off season, you go back to the off season. Last year we had a team that tremendously overachieved. We didn't really have any good avenues for improving the team. It's not like we have, a million draft picks just sitting around that we can trade. We had, we're trying to, preserve flexibility, cap flexibility for next year, the year after, whatever it is.
No, that is exactly what it is.
They took some calculated risks. Yeah. No, I think I don't remember if it's this year or the year. Maybe it's both.
They can have a possible max slot 2026. They could have a possible 2 in 2027. Continue.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, they're trying to, preserve that. And, they, made rational decisions. Lawrence Drake made rational decisions. The Norman Powell, trade looks really bad right now. And, I love Norm. Don't get me wrong. I love Norm.
They weren't going to pay Norm that next contract.
Exactly.
He's going to get
exactly. They weren't going to pay him, and they weren't going to pay him.
You know what's going to happen? The same media, Mike. The same media that all of a sudden knows who Norman Powell is. When last season I'm trying to get them to bring a little fervor so that he could be an all-star. Now all of a sudden they're like, they're Norman Powell experts, the media. But he gets that next contract and doesn't perform at that level. They'll be right back to killing him or forgetting about him. And I love Norm, but I think it's a rational decision not to want to pay a guy a big contract who's 32 because they want that cap space for higher level superstars that are mystery boxes right now in 2026 or 2027. What else, Mike?
I agree. I mean, there wasn't a lot of, there wasn't a lot of tools available in the toolbox to get better. And, they did a good job all in all, a very good job. And it just, so far hasn't worked out and doesn't look like it's going to work out exactly as, we thought. But, I'm just really hoping we can keep the above 500 streak alive. For somebody who, has been attending games since the sports arena days, that streak means a lot.
You want to see them get to 15 straight winning seasons. That's what you're looking for.
Exactly.
I got you, Mike. I appreciate your phone call. And Mike is a regular here on Clippers Talk. Demetrius in Manhattan Beach. Demetrius here on Clippers Talk with Adam Moslem. What's up?
Adam, it's been a long time. I've been listening to you guys on the radio. I've been reluctant to come on. I haven't spoke to you since last year in the playoffs. It feels like Danny Manny Clippers here. Let me just get straight into it and dive straight into it. It's going to start from the top, and then it'll trickle down from the bottom. Lawrence Frank, it's going to start with him. It will start with the coaching, and it will start with the players. But basically, the Clippers just don't have the personnel. I'm just going to be honest with you. Are they bringing?
They got a ton of the same personnel they had last year that won 50 games.
Well, I will say this: the personnel that they had last year, and the personnel like the last caller just made it real simple. He said the expectations wasn't that high last year, so the darts wasn't on them. The darts is on them this year, and you're seeing the wear and tear, and you're seeing the elite players, and you're seeing the regular players. And so what I'm saying to you, Adam, at this point, the personnel, without Kawhi Leonard, you got another year-old James Harden. You got Chris Paul down there looking at his teammates and wondering why he can't get in. You got Bogey. You got all these players. Now, they are playing the younger players. I don't think you fired Ty Lue. I mean, it goes way deeper than him. You got the All-Star weekend coming in. I mean, give me a break. These Clipper fans have been so loyal to this team. It's really sad. And so, my whole thing
what do you want to see them do, Demetrius?
What I want to see them do is, before All-Star break, Lawrence Frank get to work. You got Bradley Beal, who hasn't did anything in 9 years. I mean, seriously, go. We got the receipts. We keep receipts.
You can say he hasn't done anything in 9 years. Like the last 2 years, he averaged 18 points while shooting 50% from the floor and 40% from the outside. And he's out for the entire season now.
That is correct, and that's my point that I'm making. And so, you got what you got from him in Phoenix. I mean, he came here. He didn't fit in. He was trying to fit in the last few games. I mean, the point that I'm making, Adam, and like I said, me and you keep receipts. I love Zubac. I love the whole team. Like I said, you got Brook Lopez. He's not really a post-up guy. He shoots threes. And with the transition of these teams playing much faster, who you got back there on the miss, these teams are flying. And so with the personnel that we have, the older roster that we have, I expect Frank to get to work on the phone. You got Denver down there looking. Denver,
you want to have a sell-off.
You
want to have a sell-off.
Listen, go get Anthony Davis. They want to get rid of him, package up.
Okay,
Bogey,
okay. Let me say, you want Anthony Davis. So you're talking about getting younger and this team is too old. You want Anthony Davis for what? You want to give away Zubac for him? He makes 3 times more than Visa Zubac? And
I love
a ton
Zubac.
of games.
I mean, you both. No, listen. I love Zubac. He's very reliable.
Just tell me how Anthony Davis is the solution here. Just tell me that.
Well, I don't. Well, what I'm saying to you is that I'm asking you, as someone that's been the spokesman for the Clippers, for years, what do they do at this point, Adam? I mean, given the severity of the situation, given that they're 3-8, 1 game in front of the Pelicans, I mean, what do you do? I mean, you have to make tough decisions. I love Zubac. You know that. Man, you stood up for Zubac all year.
Tough decisions,
he played much.
And stupid decisions are 2 different things. I'm sorry, Demetrius.
Well, I agree.
Giving away your best young player for a guy who's 5 years older and extremely injury prone and makes $60 million compared to Zubac's $20 million doesn't seem like a great move to me.
I'm not saying give away. This one caller, one of the sports analysts brought this up today. They the one brought it up, and I said, "Oh, okay. How would Kawhi and AD look on the defensive end?" And I say, "Oh, wow, maybe not. I don't know, but I agree with you. I am a Zubac fan. Me and you both stood up, but at this point, Adam, what do we do with Kawhi Leonard's been injured? The personnel was there. We're going on a seven game road trip. We 3-8. Okay, James Harden has given us as much as he can give us. I love the fact that Ty Lue is mixing the players, bringing in the young players. I love what he's doing. Hey, maybe we'll the young players with Kawhi get back and the rotation get a little bit better and shorten the rotation. Maybe that'll be the answer. But listen,
you know what the answer is? You know what the answer is? They get Kawhi Leonard back. That's what they need. They get Kawhi Leonard.
Yes, well, he's averaged in the games that he's. Now we'll say this now, Adam, which this could be, encouraging for the Clipper fans. Now, in the games that he's won. He's lost. He's averaged 18. In the games he won, he averaged 30.2. So when he does average 30 points per game, they're 3-0, and so that's encouraging. Again, and so listen, me and you on the same page. I've always loved this roster. But at this point, we got the All-Star here in L.A. I mean, come on, the Clippers got to give them more. And I'm venting a little bit, and I haven't called in about a year. But me and you on the same page. I love Zubac, Adam. And the floor was a little bit better last year. He had a lot of space to work.
Look,
I mean, he was
Zubac
great
had
in interior
18 and
defense.
8 in 31 minutes against the best player in the world. Like, Zoo is the least of my issues with this ball club. The least. He hasn't played great. Yeah, I don't think he's played horrible either. He just hasn't played to the standard that we are holding him to yet. But there's so many issues going on with this team. I'm not so worried about Ivica Zubac, especially enough to trade him for Anthony Davis, who makes $40 million more and plays less. That's just, and is 5 years older. That's a non-starter for me. So I know that wasn't your idea, Demetrius, but I'm just saying I know it was out there. Zach Lowe was basically going through just throwing S at the wall trade possibilities the other day and talking about where could Anthony Davis end up if the Mavericks have a sell-off. I don't think that's the direction the Clippers will go. We shall see. I appreciate the phone call, Demetrius. It's good to hear from you. Call in on Friday again, my friend, okay?
Yes, sir. And Joker is 1-3 when he scores 50 points. I just want to throw that out to you.
I know it. That's why people are mad at Coach Lue for saying we want him to score more than pass. And it's like, because he was 0-3 when he scored 50 or more. Like, you have to make him more one-dimensional. Unfortunately, he's just so good. Tonight with 55, Clippers lose 130-116. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll get back to your phone calls. 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to AM 570 LA Sports. Clippers lose 130 to 116 at home. 6th straight loss, this time to Jokic, who has 55 points, the new Intuit Dome record. Clippers head out on the road on Friday for 7, starting in Dallas. Maybe that's why people are bringing up Anthony Davis. I know they're likely to have a sell-off, but I don't think paying Anthony Davis $60 million a year at his age, I don't know if that's in the Clippers' plans. 866-987-2570. Let's go to Edward in Granada Hills. Edward, what's up here on Clippers Talk?
Hey, Adam. Disappointing loss, man, tonight. I expected it, though, because,
Edward,
like I
are
said,
you the John Collins hater?
Oh.
We've talked before, right?
I'm not the John Collins. Hold on, wait. Yeah. Wait, you know me. Clipper Edward. Yes, of course you know me. But no, I'm not a John Collins hater. I'm just a criticizer because
okay, well, I'm just saying
to be.
You were the one guy who zigged when others zagged that were saying, get him into the starting lineup. What's Coach Lou doing? Why isn't John Collins starting? Well, his last 2 games in the starting lineup have been his worst 2 games so far as a Clipper. He was 1 of 6 tonight.
Now, I'm not saying that John Collins wasn't something interesting to bring into the Clippers. I didn't see enough of him on Atlanta or Utah. I don't watch neither of those teams. I just watch the Clippers. So I don't know enough about him. I just thought he was a good enough player to bring us something to help us. But he's been averaging 12 points, 5 rebounds. That is absolutely not good enough while Norman Powell is over there setting records and making us feel horrible.
Yeah, except I have a long memory, and I'm tired of hearing about the Norman Powell stuff because I took calls about this late in last season when Kawhi came back and Norm was in and out of the lineup and he didn't look right. And then in the playoff series against Denver, Norm didn't play well. And everybody seemed to be done with Norm in Clipper Nation. And now they're completely flip-flopping. Oh, why did we trade Norm? I remember. I got a long memory. Y'all were hating on Norm after that series against Denver.
My whole thing is I feel like Lawrence Frank, he had a good offseason. I was very critical of him. He had a good offseason, so he kind of quieted me down. But now that the guys are not panning out, I just feel like he's gambling on all the wrong guys, and he has to go as well as Ty Lue.
So wait,
and unfortunately,
he had a good offseason, but because the guys aren't performing, you're now blaming Lawrence Frank. You don't think there's any responsibility or accountability for the actual players?
Yes, because you gamble on guys that are not panning out. Like, how do you not see past the Beal injury? Like, you have to go more in depth with these guys. I remember
they should have known he was going to fracture his hip. They should have known he was
went in depth with the Mark Williams trade. They knew he was injured, so it didn't go through, right?
He fractured his hip out there on the court. It wasn't fractured. He wasn't damaged goods with a bad hip when they got him. He fractured it on the court against the Suns last Saturday night. You can see the play.
And here's the thing, Adam. What scares me more is when.
No. Are you going to acknowledge that part? Are you going to acknowledge?
In his interview.
Edward.
Okay, yeah.
Are you going to acknowledge that he hurt his hip on the court? So this isn't some situation where they didn't do a screening process and they missed it. He got hurt as a Clipper.
Okay.
How could they have predicted that?
Yes. Listen. Okay.
Fractured hip.
Listen. I understand. I understand that. They took a risk on a very injury-prone player.
A risk for $5 million. It's $5 million. Everybody is taking that flyer. Everybody is taking that flyer on Bradley Beal.
Hold on, wait, Adam. That $5 million could have been used for a way better guy. But
Who?
I don't know the free agency.
Okay,
I'm not looking it up on the screen.
Edward, I appreciate the phone call. I got a lot of people on hold. Okay, Edward, you got 30 seconds. Go.
Is Lawrence Frank said that he wants to bring back Beal on a hit, on
Beal
a bad
has
hit.
A player option. You're missing the details. Beal has a player option. It is not the Clippers' choice. So, Edward, you're coming across as a casual tonight. I love you, but you're kind of spewing some misinformation. Let's go to Jose and Downey. Jose, you're on Clippers Talk. What's up?
What's up, Adam? that was brutal, man. That was brutal right
I
now.
know. I'm just trying to actually give facts to things and be accurate. It's like he's saying he's going to bring back Beal. It's Beal's choice. He's on a player option.
It's his option. Yeah, it's his option.
My
Plus,
God.
I mean, no matter.
So
no
who
matter
would they
how-
get for $5 million?
how bad
I don't
he might
know. I don't know who the free agents are. It's like this was a very helpful phone call, Edward. I'm sorry, Jose.
No,
Go ahead.
It's all right. No matter how people think he might have played, $6 million compared to the 50-something million dollars that he was being paid, I would take that gamble any day.
That's a
Now
pretty
that it's
low
not happening
risk.
now right now,
$5 million for Bradley
Exactly.
Beal.
I agree. Same thing. I felt about Westbrook. Same thing I felt about John Wall. They're very low risk. Who knows? But I will ask this, Adam. But going back to the Anthony Davis thing, I don't think that's the right move either. Why get desperate in that way and go make another move like that? But being that you do have a great point that he very high injury prone, getting paid that much, and we're saying that's not a good move. At what point do we say the same thing about Kawhi because he's not playing all those games for
He's
us
already
too?
on the team. What do you do?
Yeah.
What's Kawhi's value?
Yeah. Okay. So I thought I was.
You don't
we were
have
one
to
of the
make
few.
that. Kawhi's already on the team. You've already made that decision. You don't have to bring in Anthony Davis too.
Yeah. Right. No, and I agree with that. No Anthony Davis, but I just wanted I wanted to say that out loud because a lot of people thinking, oh, keep stacking on. You can't. You already have somebody injury prone on your team. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm glad you're able to bring up what value is it going to have in the trade market. I mean, I would, if he plays good and he plays a lot of games in this first half when it comes to the trade deadline and we're still not doing all that well, then I hope they might look into that if it's going to turn into that. If we're not doing well and he's playing great, then we're going to have to try to sell as high as his stock can be possible.
Like everything should be on the table, Jose. Everything should be on the table when you start off this slow. And if things continue to go down this road, then yes, then you have to consider a sell-off. I appreciate the phone call. I have to take a quick timeout. Love you, Jose. 866-987-2570. I'm at a Moslin after the Clippers lose 130-116 here at Intuit Dome. To Nikola Jokic, you had 55, and the Denver Nuggets. This is Clippers Talk on AM 570 LA Sports.
Network.
Clippers lose 130 to 116 here at Intuit Dome. Nikola Jokic has 55. Clippers have lost 6 straight. They're 3-8. The sky is falling. This is Sky is Falling radio here on Clippers Talk. Let's go to Eli and Whittier. Eli, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Moslin. What's up?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello? Oh, okay, no, no. Okay, first of all, I just want to say, man, credit to Jordan Miller. Like, he actually did really well this game. And honestly, he did so well, like, considering that, I think it was last year when they faced Denver at Denver at their place. He didn't do too well, and he kind of lost his confidence since that game when he lost his part of the rotation. But
Eli, that is a great point. I do think it was a game against Denver. He got ripped going left by Russell Westbrook, and I felt like he was never the same after that. So him having this game against Denver this year, playing this well with 22 points, that could be meaningful.
For sure, it's super promising. So that's the right spot to look at. But I guess getting to my main question, just a short one. Like, if you were in L. Frank's shoes right now, how many games would you look at, or like a sample size to see of when to make big moves for this team, whether it's trades or fire sales? How many more games do you need to see from this team and to make those decisions, or what moves you would make?
I don't know, 25 games. We're at 11 now. We got a road trip, 7 games. When's Kawhi coming back? We don't know. It could be earlier next week, but how do they look when Kawhi's back? Is there still something here to this group? It's really perplexing that they have a better roster in many ways than last season, and they're playing this poorly. So I would evaluate around 25 games. But again, it may be difficult. We'll see what you get back for some of these guys, should it come to that, Eli. I appreciate the phone call. Last one we got here, Rick leaving the game. Rick, what's up here on Clippers Talk?
How's it going, Adam? It's good to hear you kind of stand pat with the Norm talk. That was really one of my biggest points last year. Everybody kind of turned on him. It was good to see you defend and stay out on that, brother. That's really good to see.
Man, I'm a fan of Norman Powell, and the way people turned on him at the end of last season and now are saying we shouldn't have traded Norm when everybody wanted John Collins and they celebrated that trade so much, and now they're acting like that didn't happen. I got to keep it a buck, as the kids say. I'm not hearing that. I remember.
100%, and being a second-year member of like the Swell, proudly of it too. I circled that game when we played Miami, and I had to stand up for him when he came in, and always will cheer for him. And I still kind of watch his stats here and there too, because I'm a UCLA guy, so I'm gonna cheer for him no matter what. But the biggest thing that I just want to ask you too is, I just felt like today, honestly, like I left positive-wise, because the last few games I felt like the energy was being sucked out of that building, and like just the team chemistry hasn't been there, and you being so close to the team, like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Like, I'm seeing Chris Paul not even warm up. He's kind of more of a coach right now. He's not even getting in there. Like, is there like a bad chemistry thing going on right now that they're not syncing up?
I don't know. I don't know, Rick. I appreciate the phone call. I'm sorry I got to get out at the top of the hour, but when a team is 3-8, you start questioning everything, and maybe there is a bad mix, and guys aren't communicating, and guys aren't talking like they should be, and guys have their heads down, and it's a body language thing. And I hope guys get engaged on this road trip, get close, get in the foxhole, us against the world mentality, Clippers versus everybody. They're going to need it. 7 games on the road starting in Dallas on Friday. Tip-off at 5:30, pregame show at 4:30. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Ego, Carlo Jimenez on the call, Daniel West, our producer back in the bank, big brother Jake Warner here at Intuit Dome, our head engineer. I'm Adam Moslin. Talk to you guys on Friday.